The 20 million gamble. Why Ruben Neves could be Carrick's masterstroke. Hey United family. Welcome back to United Daily Updates, your trusted source for everything Manchester United. If you're new here, let me tell you why you need to subscribe right now. We bring you breaking transfer news before it hits the mainstream. Match analysis from real fans who actually understand football. Tactical breakdowns that make sense. No clickbait. No fake rumors. Just honest content about the club we love delivered every single day. Thousands of Red Devils around the world trust us to keep them informed. So hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, and join our family. You won't regret it. Now let me ask you something. What if I told you Manchester United could sign a midfielder who spent 6 years dominating Premier League matches? A player who captained Porto at just 18 years old? Someone who can spray 50-yard passes like they're nothing? And United could get him for just £20 million? Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, it's happening. Manchester United has just made an official bid for Ruben Neves. The former Wolves star currently playing in Saudi Arabia. And if this deal goes through, it could completely transform United's midfield and give Michael Carrick exactly what he needs to push for top 4. Let me break down everything you need to know about this transfer. Who Neves is. Why United wants him. The massive problem standing in the way. And whether this is genius business or a risky gamble. United makes it official. According to multiple reliable sources including Fitch's, Manchester United has submitted a formal transfer offer to Al Hilal for Ruben Neves. This isn't just speculation or agents talking to journalists. This is an actual bid. Real money on the table. The offer is worth €23 million, which works out to roughly £20 million. That's United's opening bid. The first move in what could be quick negotiations or drawn-out saga. Think about what this bid tells us. First, United is serious about strengthening the squad in January. They're not just window shopping. They're making concrete moves. Putting offers on the table. Taking action while other clubs are still thinking about it. Second, the timing is smart. Really smart. Ruben Neves' contract with Al Hilal expires at the end of this season in June. That's just 5 months away. If Al Hilal doesn't sell him now, they lose him for absolutely nothing in the summer. United knows this and is using it as leverage in negotiations. Third, the price is sensible. £20 million for a 28-year-old midfielder with tons of Premier League experience is actually good value in today's crazy market. United isn't throwing £80 million at some unproven youngster. They're being smart and strategic. Reports say Al Hilal is seriously thinking about accepting the offer. They don't want to lose Neves for free. Getting £20 million now makes more financial sense than getting zero later. The Saudi club is weighing their options, but all signs point to them being open to selling. But here's where it gets complicated. The transfer fee isn't the biggest obstacle. The real problem is wages. And it's a massive problem that could kill this deal completely. The salary situation that could ruin everything. Let me hit you with some numbers that will blow your mind. Ruben Neves currently earns around £390,000 per week at Al Hilal. Yes, you read that right. Nearly £400,000 every single week. That's over £20 million per year just in salary. Saudi clubs pay these insane wages to attract top players from Europe. They have unlimited money from their owners. They can afford to pay basically whatever they want. Manchester United cannot and will not match that kind of salary. Not even close. And this is where the whole transfer could fall apart. United's highest paid player is Casemiro at around £350,000 per week. Bruno Fernandes earns about £300,000 per week. The new ownership group in Ineos is trying to bring wages under control, not make them worse by giving huge contracts to new signings. So for this transfer to happen, Ruben Neves would need to take a massive pay cut. We're talking about cutting his wages in half or even more. Going from £390,000 per week down to maybe £200,000 or £250,000 per week. That's a huge financial sacrifice. Why would anyone willingly give up that much money? The answer depends on what Neves values most at this point in his career. If it's purely about maximizing his bank account, he stays in Saudi Arabia and keeps collecting those massive paychecks. But if he cares about competing at the highest level, playing in the best league in the world, and being part of a historic club chasing Champions League football, then he takes the pay cut and joins United. At 28 years old, Neves is right in his prime. He probably has another 5 or 6 years playing at the top level. Does he want to spend those years earning huge money in a league nobody watches? Or does he want to test himself in the Premier League at Manchester United? Reports suggest Neves is genuinely tempted by the United move. That he's interested in returning to England. That the sporting project appeals to him more than just collecting a paycheck. But no final decision has been made yet. The salary negotiations are still ongoing. This is the key to the whole transfer. If Neves agrees to fit within United's wage structure, this deal happens fast. If he demands anything close to Saudi Arabia money, it's dead immediately. Who is Ruben Neves anyway? For fans who don't remember Neves from his Wolves days or haven't followed his career closely, let me paint you the complete picture of what United would be getting. Ruben Neves is a deep-lying playmaker. A midfielder who sits in front of the defense, controls the tempo of matches, and dictates play with his passing. If you remember players like Michael Carrick or think of someone like Sergio Busquets, that's the type of midfielder Neves is. His story is actually pretty amazing. He joined Porto's academy as a kid and worked his way up through the youth teams. At just 18 years old, Porto made him their captain. 18. Leading one of the biggest clubs in Portugal. That tells you everything about his maturity, his leadership qualities, and how highly rated he was even as a teenager. In 2017, when Neves was only 20, Wolves paid £15 million to sign him from Porto. At the time, Wolves was in the Championship, England's second division. But they had big ambitions and serious money behind them. Signing Neves was a statement of intent. Neves spent 6 years at Wolves from 2017 to 2023. He made 253 appearances for them across all competitions. He scored 30 goals and provided 13 assists. Those are decent numbers for a defensive midfielder who sits deep and rarely gets into the box. But Neves wasn't valued for goals and assists. He was valued for what he brought to the team in other ways. Controlling matches. Organizing the midfield. Breaking up opposition attacks. Spraying long passes to switch play. Leadership and composure under pressure. During Wolves' best years under manager Nuno Espirito Santo, Neves was absolutely crucial. He made that team work. Everything went through him. He was the calm, composed presence in midfield that allowed more attacking players like Raúl Jiménez and Diogo Jota to do their thing. His technical ability is top class. First touch. Close control. Passing accuracy. He can receive the ball under pressure, turn, and play a perfect pass forward. He rarely gives possession away cheaply. He makes intelligent decisions with the ball. Defensively, Neves is solid without being spectacular. He's not a destroyer who makes 10 tackles per match like N'Golo Kante in his prime. But he positions himself well. He reads the game. He intercepts passes. He breaks up attacks before they become dangerous. His best quality is probably his passing range. Neves can hit a 50-yard diagonal pass perfectly weighted right to a teammate's foot. That ability to switch play quickly and accurately is rare. It's what separates good midfielders from great ones. In 2023, after 6 successful years at Wolves, Neves accepted a massive offer from Al Hilal in Saudi Arabia. The money was too good to turn down. He moved to the Saudi Pro League and has been there for about 18 months now. At 28 years old, Neves is exactly in his prime. He's got tons of experience but he's still at peak physical condition. This is the perfect age for a midfielder. Old enough to be mature and smart. Young enough to still be athletic and energetic. Why United desperately needs him. So why does Manchester United want Ruben Neves so badly? What problem does he solve? How does he fit into what Michael Carrick is trying to build? Let's be brutally honest about United's midfield situation. It's been a disaster all season. Complete mess. No control. No composure. No consistency. Casemiro is 32 years old and clearly declining. His legs are gone. He can't cover ground like he used to. He makes mistakes because he can't recover when he gets beaten. It's sad to watch but it's reality. Manuel Ugarte was signed from PSG in the summer to eventually replace Casemiro. But he's been really disappointing. His passing is wasteful. He gives the ball away in dangerous areas. He hasn't adapted to the speed and intensity of Premier League football. Kobbie Mainoo is talented and has a bright future. But he's only 19 years old. He's still learning. Still developing. Asking him to carry the midfield at such a young age isn't fair. Christian Eriksen is 33 and can't play twice a week anymore. His legs are going too. He needs to be managed carefully. So United desperately needs someone who can control matches from deep positions. Someone with experience and composure. Someone who won't panic under pressure. Someone who can organize those around him and dictate tempo. Ruben Neves fits all of those requirements perfectly. Under Carrick's 4-2-3-1 system that worked so well against Manchester City, United uses 2 defensive midfielders sitting in front of the back 4. Their job is to protect the defense, win the ball back, and then start attacks with intelligent passing. Against City, it was Casemiro and Ugarte in those roles. Defensively, they were excellent. United was compact and organised. City barely created any clear chances. That part of the game plan worked brilliantly. But when United had possession, those two offered almost nothing going forward. No progressive passing. No balls breaking defensive lines. Just simple sideways passes to Bruno or the wingers. All the creative responsibility fell entirely on Bruno Fernandes. Neves changes that dynamic completely. He can do all the defensive work that's required in that double pivot. But he also has the passing range and vision to progress the ball intelligently and start attacks. Imagine a midfield with Neves sitting deepest alongside Kobbie Mainoo. Neves controls the tempo and sprays passes around. Mainoo has freedom to get forward and use his box-to-box qualities. Bruno plays as the attacking midfielder ahead of them, creating chances and scoring goals. That's balanced. That's functional. That gives United defensive security while also having creative quality from deep. His Premier League experience is absolutely huge too. There's no adaptation period needed. No time wasted learning the pace and physicality of English football. Neves already proved himself in this league for 6 years. He knows exactly what it takes. He can step straight into the team and perform immediately. The leadership he brings is valuable as well. United's midfield has lacked authority and organisation all season. Neves is a natural leader. He captained Porto at 18 and was a leader at Wolves throughout his time there. He knows how to organise teammates, how to communicate, how to set standards, how Neves fits Carrick's tactics. Let me get tactical for a minute because this is where it gets really interesting. Michael Carrick's 4-2-3-1 formation relies heavily on those two defensive midfielders. Everything flows from them. They're the foundation the whole team is built on. Their responsibilities are clear. Protect the back four when defending. Win the ball back quickly. Then play simple passes forward to the creative players who make things happen in the final third. Against Manchester City, Casemiro and Ugarte did the defensive work brilliantly. United was solid and hard to break down. City struggled to create chances. That defensive organisation was excellent. But in possession, those two were limited. They couldn't progress the ball effectively. They couldn't break lines with their passing. Everything had to go through Bruno. That made United too predictable and easy to defend against. Neves solves that problem. He gives United both defensive security and creative passing from deep positions. His long passing ability is particularly valuable for counter-attacks. United's biggest weapon under Carrick is pace on the wings with players like Bryan Mbeumo and Amad Diallo. When United wins the ball, they want to attack quickly before the opposition can get organised. Neves can hit those 40 or 50-yard passes instantly. As soon as United wins possession, he can find a winger running in behind with one perfect ball. That's exactly how United scored against City. Quick transition. Ball forward immediately. Pace exploited. Neves would make those counter-attacks even more dangerous with his passing quality. He also allows Bruno Fernandes to play higher up the pitch. With Neves controlling things from deep, Bruno doesn't need to drop so far back to collect the ball. He can stay in advanced positions where he's most effective, creating chances and scoring goals. The partnership between Neves and Mainoo could be really special too. Neves sits deeper and controls. Mainoo gets forward and links play. They complement each other perfectly. One provides stability. The other provides dynamism. The concerns fans are raising. Not everyone is convinced signing Ruben Neves is the right move for Manchester United. Some fans have legitimate concerns about this transfer. Let me address the main criticisms honestly. First concern: Neves is 28 years old. This is short-term thinking rather than building for the future. I get this argument. United should be signing young players who can be at the club for 10 years. But here's the reality. United needs to qualify for Champions League this season. Right now. That requires players who can contribute immediately without needing time to develop. You can sign prospects for the future in the summer while also bringing in experience now. Second concern: Neves has been playing in Saudi Arabia where the quality is much lower than the Premier League. True, but Neves only went to Saudi Arabia 18 months ago. It's not like he's been there for 5 years and forgotten how to compete. His Premier League experience is still recent. Top players don't lose their ability in 18 months. His quality is still there. Third concern: the wages could still be a problem even with a pay cut. Absolutely valid. If Neves demands anything close to what he earns in Saudi Arabia, this deal is impossible. United cannot blow up their wage structure. The salary negotiations will determine if this is realistic or not. If he's sensible about money, it works. If he's greedy, it doesn't. Fourth concern, United should be signing a pure destroyer like João Gomes instead of another playmaker. This is probably the most valid criticism. United already has creative players in Bruno and Mainu. Do they really need another one? The counter-argument is that Neves plays deeper than both of them. He's the base of midfield. The one who controls from the deepest position. That's different from what Bruno and Mainu do. These are all fair points that deserve consideration. But overall, I think the positives outweigh the negatives if the financial terms work out. What happens next in this transfer? So where does this deal go from here? What are the next steps in getting Ruben Neves to Manchester United? Step 1 is Al Hilal responding to United's bid. They need to either accept £20 million, reject it completely, or ask for more money. Reports suggest they're seriously considering it, but nothing official yet. They might want 25 million instead of 20. United would probably pay that. Step 2 is sorting out personal terms with Neves if Al Hilal accepts. This is where the wage discussions happen. This is the make or break moment for the entire transfer. If Neves agrees to reasonable wages that fit United's structure, the deal happens. If he wants Saudi money, it dies immediately. Step 3 is the paperwork if everything else is agreed. Medical examination. Signing the contract. Visa and work permit. All the boring administrative stuff that takes a few days but has to be done. The transfer window closes on February 2nd. That's less than 2 weeks away. Time is running out to get deals done. If United wants Neves, they need to move fast. They can't afford to spend 10 days negotiating only for it to collapse at the last minute. My gut feeling is this transfer happens. United wouldn't make a formal bid without having some indication that Neves is willing to take the pay cut. The fact that reports say he's tempted suggests there's been communication and progress behind the scenes. Al Hilal has no logical reason to reject 20 million for a player leaving for free in June. That's just throwing money away. They'll either accept or ask for slightly more. Within the next week, this transfer will either be completed or dead. There won't be much middle ground. It moves quickly or it doesn't move at all. That's how January transfers work when time is limited. My honest take on this deal. Let me give you my genuine opinion on whether Manchester United should sign Ruben Neves. I think it's smart business. Not a spectacular signing that gets everyone excited. Not a big name that sells shirts and breaks the internet. But a sensible, practical move that addresses a real need in the squad. United desperately needs a midfielder who can control matches and pass the ball intelligently from deep. Neves provides exactly that. At £20 million for someone with 6 years of Premier League experience who's in his prime, the value is excellent. Yes, he's 28 and not a long-term solution. But United needs to make top 4 this season. That requires immediate help. Sign Neves now for the short term while scouting younger options for the summer. Do both. The only real worry is wages. If Neves is willing to be reasonable and accept United's offer, great. Get it done. If he's being greedy and demanding excessive money, walk away immediately. Don't set a bad precedent for future negotiations. I genuinely think Neves would work brilliantly alongside Kobbie Mainoo. Those two as a partnership could be excellent for the next few years. Neves controlling from deep. Mainoo getting forward. That balance is exactly what United has been missing all season. Carrick clearly wants him. The manager has identified Neves as fitting his system perfectly. That should count for something. Back your manager's judgment and get him the players he needs to succeed. Is Neves the perfect signing? No. Are there questions about it? Yes. But it makes way more sense than most of United's recent midfield signings. It's smart, strategic, and addresses a genuine problem. That's good recruitment. The bottom line. Manchester United has made a £20 million bid for Ruben Neves. The 28-year-old midfielder currently plays for Al Hilal in Saudi Arabia, but his contract expires in June. Al Hilal is seriously considering selling rather than losing Neves for nothing in the summer. The transfer makes sense for everyone involved if the terms can be agreed. United gets a Premier League proven midfielder with experience, composure, and excellent passing. Someone who fits perfectly into Carrick's system and can contribute immediately. Al Hilal gets £20 million for a player who's leaving anyway. Much better than zero. Neves gets a chance to return to the Premier League and compete at the highest level instead of collecting paychecks in a league nobody watches. The only obstacle is salary. If Neves accepts a significant pay cut to fit United's wage structure, this deal happens quickly. If he demands Saudi Arabia money, it's completely dead. We should know within the next week where this is heading. Either United completes the signing and gives Carrick his first midfield reinforcement, or negotiations collapse and United moves on to other targets. I hope it gets done. United needs midfield help desperately. Neves is a good solution. Make it happen before the window closes. Thanks for reading this complete breakdown of United's bid for Ruben Neves and what it means for the rest of the season. Subscribe to United Daily Updates on YouTube right now if you haven't already. We are your trusted source for everything Manchester United. Daily videos with breaking transfer news, match analysis, tactical discussions, and honest opinions from real fans who understand this club. We don't chase fake rumors for clicks. We bring you reliable information and quality content. A community of passionate Red Devils supporting the team together through everything. Subscribe now. Turn on notifications. Comment and tell us what you think about the Neves bid. Should United sign him or look for someone else? Is 20 million good value or too much for a 28-year-old? Let's have that discussion together in the comments. And let's hope United acts decisively to strengthen the squad before time runs out. Come on United. Make smart signings. Back Carrick with quality players. Push for that top 4 finish. Glory glory Man United. See you in the next video.